We will compare the penetrating power and the range of alpha, beta, and gamma radiation using a GM counter. Before conducting the experiment, we will first measure the background radiation. Connect a GM tube to a counter. Set the voltage of the counter to 400 volts. Make sure there is no radioactive source near the GM tube. Measure the total number of counts in 1 minute. Calculate the count rate in counts per second. This is the background radiation. To obtain the corrected count rate of a radioactive source, that is, the count rate due to the source only, place the source in front of the GM tube and measure the total number of counts in 1 minute. Calculate the measured count rate. Then subtract the background count rate from it. The result is the corrected count rate. We will start the experiment with an alpha source. The source is now placed 1 centimeter in front of the GM tube. Insert a piece of paper between the source and the GM tube. Note the change in the count rate. Insert more pieces of paper until the count rate drops to the background count rate. Remove all the papers. Slowly, move the source away from the GM tube until the count rate drops to the background count rate. Measure the distance between the source and the GM tube. This is the distance the alpha radiation travels before it is completely absorbed by air. It is called the range of alpha radiation in air. Now try a beta source. Place the source 5 centimeters in front of the GM tube. Insert aluminium sheets between the source and the GM tube until the count rate measured drops back to the background count rate. Remove the aluminium. Slowly, move the source away from the GM tube until the separation between them is 50 centimeters. Does the count rate drop to the background count rate? Lastly, try a gamma source. Put the source 5 centimeters in front of the GM tube. Insert lead sheets between the source and the GM tube. Does the count rate drop to the background count rate? Remove the lead sheets. Slowly, move the source away from the GM tube until the separation between them is 50 centimeters. Note the change in the count rate. Among alpha, beta, and gamma radiation, which one has the strongest penetrating power, and which one has the longest range in air?